All right, in this video, let's get to the core of CloneDesk and talk about how to build blueprints and how to automate your organization or your projects. Now, there are several ways to this. So first of all, you can of course copy any of the public blueprints and then just edit them. That's probably the fastest way if you found something that you think is a suitable thing that you could work on. So I will not cover that. I will create a new blueprint from scratch. Now just hit create blueprint, and now I call it video test blueprint because I think the video example is great to do that. We don't have to care about active, not active. Active just means that it's active for your organization. As there's nothing in it yet, doesn't matter. As explained in the channels, this makes sure or tells who can use these blueprints. Normally you can add general, then pretty much all the users can access it. If you only want your video users to use it, if you just want your marketing department to use it, then you can just enter any of those. So I type marketing and video, then add some description. That could be anything, add a description. So that's pretty straightforward. The owner is you, and you can only set it to private in the beginning. So now I create my first blueprint element. It's a blueprint element because we plan to use more different types besides task. Right now you can only select tasks, so you don't have to worry about it. Later you might add an email function or some webhooks or whatever. There are different kinds that we want to add here, and just to make sure that you understand the concept, you are able to select this. So let's think about what do we need in the beginning to create a video, right? So first of all, we have a specification task. So specify video production. Now you can enter in information, please do. Then you add some fields. So for example, name of the video. It's a text field and it's required because we need a title. Then you can define like which platforms to use. There you can select different field types. For example, here it's checkboxes, and I have YouTube, I have Vimeo. That's about it. And then let's say, do you want to approve the video before publishing? So that's for the manager type of guys. Let's add a checkbox, and you can just make it optional and you say yes and no, or you can also use radios and make them required, and then you have yes and no option. I just do it like really simple here. What we also want to do is we want to provide the user with some information about the project. So for example, we want to give him the colors, the project colors, so he knows how to work with the video. So we add the project colors, and what else do we know? Domain, maybe? Project domain, and some other information. So these are information stored within the project, and you can use them in all the blueprints. They're pre-filled, and you can change them, of course, in this in this task, but you can also hide them in different tasks. I will cover that in a different video though. So it makes sense that you have the first elements to be started with a blueprint starter, because normally you start it and then you want to work on it. If you create a blueprint that you want to schedule and just have it assigned to specific people, then you can of course use the worker function. Project owner is also clear. It just goes to the project owner for improvement, for whatever else things you might have, right? Task duration I normally don't fill out because it's filled out automatically eventually. And then you have the channels. So for example, specification, video, and you add 2 or 3 channels to make sure that all of your workers have access to it and can use it. So now I save this and go back to the overview so we see how it looks like now. So you see, I have my first blueprint element added. It's the first one. I can now add a second one, or I can edit it. Again, I can also copy it. Now, what do you want to do now? I want to write the video script, right? Write the video script. link to the script. There's a text field with a URL required. Yes. Here, please create a video. Now you have to save this first because we need to build a connection. Now we can't do that at the moment. We have to wait a bit. So say worker. We have to save it first before we can add the connections. And it's video recording. Record video. So there are different channels. We will also make this simpler in the future. Now I click stay on this page because I want to add some more information here. Now I change the connection type because I want to say this is the first task, and after that task, this task should start. So this one is required. And now I save this again, refresh the page. And now I get the different shortcodes that I can use within my Blueprint element description. Now I need the name of the video. Please create a video for name of the video. Project colors doesn't make that much sense, but it's just for you to get an idea. So I write the manual here, project colors, and this will be filled out, and which platforms to use. And with the platforms to use, you can have some styling information. You find that when you click on help up here, you will find the different styling information. So this style is UL, for example, unordered list. You can also make it an ordered list. You can only use that on things where you have more than one option. Doesn't make sense to use that on the other fields. Now I can save this as well and add a follow-up element. So as you can see here, this one says other is required already. And now I say approve video. Here's the script. Let's say approved. And we say checkbox required yes. Because if we don't approve it, we will just use the feedback button to give it back to the person before this one, right? Now that's for the worker or the project owner, depending. I normally have it for the worker and say check video, something like that. Approve video, approve design, approve video. Okay, now stay on this page because what we have to do now is we have to make another connection here. Loads is required. Save changes. Okay, what you see now is you can add skip conditions. And we said that we want to only approve the video if the field, do you want to approve the video before publishing, is yes. It should be skipped. Do you want to approve the video before publishing is yes? Then you don't want it to skip, so it's not yes. So if it's not yes, then this task will be skipped. Right? So let's stay on this page and save it. And now let's try out what this blueprint does for us. So to try it out, just start it. I normally use very high priority in the project here, Clonus Marketing. So you can see I get the first task here. Here's my description, name of the video, cool production video. I want to publish it to YouTube. Do you want to approve before? Yes, no, I don't want this. I don't want that. And then this is pre-filled, as you can see. I can change that. Test 5, I don't want this. And I can, of course, notify the users of this change because otherwise they will not know. Normally you don't read this project information anymore, and we want to make it as easy as possible for users. So we say we have updated the colors. Test information. So my colleagues know that it's not for real, right? So I've changed that. And then I just hit save and complete the task. And I should be getting the next task as well here, because I do all the video recordings. But if I had a design task, it would be sent to a different person. Now, what you see here are the project colors. Here's cool video as the field. And I have the YouTube video here as well as an unordered list correctly. So I can copy that. Or, as I said, I can just give feedback. So if, for example, the create video is not cool, then create not a good name. So the user can give feedback now. Now, let's see what happened to the task approve video. It's still here. Let's go to the prioritize page. I open that in a new tab and I complete this task here now. Link to the script. 1 second. So here's my script. I complete the task, but I want to see the workflow first. So you see what happens here. So this is my workflow. This is what I'm working on. This is the first task, and here is the waiting task. And now if I save, complete the task, and now it's gone. So I want to get the completed task back. And here's my workflow, which was just completed. And as you can see, the approved video was skipped. So it's pretty simple to build stuff like that. What you can also do, I know this video gets a bit long, but okay, so here I am in the write video script. And now I want to let the users know that if we want to publish it on a specific platform, that he should perform a specific thing. So which platforms to use with the project colors. Please create a video for name of the video. Platforms to use. If which platforms to use equals YouTube. Please create a video for blah that will be published to YouTube. Then you have to close it. The if condition. It's just a short code, and you will also find these in the help section. And then click Save Changes. Now what will happen is also that you can update a blueprint on the fly. So let's try that out. Let's start the workflow, make it very high priority. Okay, here we are again. And now let's say we have a video, YouTube video test. And we say we want to publish it to YouTube. And we want to check it out. I get the second task as well. And in the second task, you see now that that will be published to YouTube. Okay, so which platforms to use? YouTube. And I just give feedback. Or let's make this even quicker. Let's just edit the blueprint element. It was this one, write the video script. And now let's say if which platforms to use YouTube. If it's not YouTube, then do something else, right? So I can just change this and the information is still there like it was. I can also notify the users of the change here. Slight change to YouTube option. Whatever you put here, right? So I inform my users now. Page refresh, and I reload the task that I'm working on. I do that now, but could be any user. And what happens now is you don't see that information anymore. And as I did change the information myself, I don't see that message here, but you would normally get a message now that the project information has been updated. So that's pretty much all there is to know currently about creating blueprints. You can make them as complex as possible. You can also say that you want to skip specific information fields. You can, yeah. So one thing that you have to keep in mind when you use project fields, you need them at least in one task that is required in order for them to show up. So the users have the option to give feedback to them, and they are added to the workflow. So what I tend to do is I create some, you can see that in this workflow, for example, you have this project data, add project data task. And in this one, I just add all the project data. So all this information is added here. So I don't have to see that when the, with every, within this task, I don't want them to show up. Okay, so that's a lot of things that you need to know about creating blueprints. All the information are updated automatically, whatever you edit here. The only thing that does not change is the connection. So if you change that, the workflow will not automatically update because it's way too complex to do that. And also the skip conditions do not update. Everything else, what you see here, updates automatically on the fly. You can add fields, you can change the channels afterwards, you can change the name afterwards, you can add any information in here, no problem. All right, so have fun with building blueprints, and if you have any questions, just let us know in the comment section or through chat or via email. Okay, thanks.